But in 1981, it's a much lower tech gadget that would unite the world. In frustration, everybody but everybody is talking about one thing: how on earth to solve the Rubik's Cube.
I have never finished a Rubik's Cube in my life.
Whoever came up with this has to be the geekiest geek of all.
They make me incredibly anxious.
A Rubik's Cube, right?
Yeah.
Never did master these things.
But why is lining up the right colors on this cube so insanely difficult? The reason: there's only one correct answer, and more than 43 billion wrong ones.
If you started turning this once every second, the moment the universe was created, you wouldn't be finished yet.
Then, a rebellious 12-year-old in Britain decides to take on the cube, end the world, by cheating.
I had a look inside to see how it worked, and that's when the penny dropped.
Patrick sees that the 6 centerpieces are connected.
I now knew that I was able to solve it.
And if you start with the corners, everything else eventually will line up.
You're always looking for the way through, the clue, and the whole thing fell into place after that.
Patrick sells his solution to friends, 50 cents a copy. A publisher hears about it. 8 months later, Patrick becomes the youngest author to hit the New York Times bestseller list.
You Can Do the Cube turned out to be the fastest selling book since Lady Chatterley's Lover.
Patrick becomes a regular face on TV.
It's important to remember that a corner piece can only be a corner piece.
Book tours, book signings, radio interviews. I thought it might sell a few thousand copies, and instead it sold 1.5 million.
The Rubik's Cube is a global phenomenon.
This is kind of indicative of what was going on in the 1980s. All these things that people found really important were, in a sense, making the world smaller.
People are connecting more than ever, but there's one guest who still hasn't joined the party.
Russia was pretty much culturally as far away as you could get.
It would take a tiny game to bring Russia in from the cold. But acquiring it was not going to be easy.
It was definitely a possibility that I was going to end up in a gulag. I didn't know.